Good evening and welcome to Rapid TV News. My name is Cynthia Agbo. We now begin with the headlines. Nigerian government requests Ireland support on internal security. Zimbabwe Air Chief visits NAF headquarters. FEC okays 24.2 billion for free internet at airports visitors. Mexico investigates deadly fire at migrant center. FIFA removes Indonesia as host of 2023 Under-20 World Cup. Welcome back. Details coming up. The Nigerian government has sought the cooperation of Ireland on internal security in Nigeria. Minister of Interior Ralph Aregbesola made the request when the Irish ambassador Peter Ryan visited him in Abuja. At the meeting, the minister hinted the plan of the ministry to establish the National Institute for Domestic Security. The proposed institute would be a training ground for top security officers and an institution for interagency collaboration. Aregbesola hailed Ireland for its legacy in education and moral instruction carried out through the Catholic missionaries. In his remarks, Ryan thanked the minister for receiving him despite the short notice and assured his country's readiness to assist Nigeria. The commander of the Air Force of Zimbabwe, AFZ Air Marshal Elson Moyo, has expressed his country's desire to explore technical assistance by the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, in the areas of research and development, unmanned aerial vehicle technology, as well as cooperation and maintenance of F-7 and Mi-35 aircraft. The identified areas for collaboration, according to Air Marshal Moyo, are of common and peculiar aviation interest to Zimbabwe and Nigeria, whose air forces operate some similar aircraft. The Zimbabwe Air Chief noted that the NAF within a short time has recorded remarkable feats in its information effort to develop indigenous capacity. Air Marshal Moyo also commended the NAF for its support it gave to AFZ in the past, acknowledging the high-quality training given to the first batch of Zimbabwe pilots trained in the 1980s by the NAF, which he said informed the decision by AFZ to seek for improved synergy and collaboration within the NAF with respect to capacity development. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amwa, has stated that the NAF was ready to forge mutually benefiting partnership within the AFC. The National Population Commission, NPC, has debunked insinuations that the 2023 Population and Housing Census would canvass questions on the religious affiliations of respondents. The clarification was made following a viral audio message circulating on WhatsApp, alleging that the religious affiliations of respondents will be discussed in the 2023 Population and Housing Census. The viral message alleged that the question bordering on religion is intended to suppress the numbers of set of believers in the process. But in a swift clarification in a statement by the Director of Public Affairs, Isiaka Yahaya, on Wednesday, he emphasized that the Commission has excluded such items on its questionnaire to save the census data from needless controversies and attention. The Population and Housing Census is an important economic tool for development, usually a starting point for any government desirous of genuine growth. NPC had fixed May 3rd for the commencement of the 2023 census. Troops of Operation Hadiri Daji have again conducted clearance operations, which resulted to the killing of 21 dreaded bandits kingpins in Zormi local government area of Zamfara state. According to a military source, the bandits kingpin neutralized who were terrorism innocent citizens in the village around Zumi local government area, some parts of Kara Namoda, Shinkafi local government areas, and Niger Republic. Military sources confirmed the operations, pointing out that the onslaught against the recalcitrant bandits will be sustained to ensure restoration of peace in Northwest the country as a whole. The Nigerian Center for Disease and Control Prevention (NCDC) said in less than 3 months the country registered 784 confirmed cases of Lassa fever with 142 deaths in 23 states. The agency said the cases were reported from Edo, Ondo, Ebonyi, Bauchi, Taraba, Benue, Rivers, Plateau and Nasarawa. The NCDC said in the epidemiological week 11, the number of new confirmed cases decreased from 17 week 10 of 2023 to 38 cases. Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic fever caused by the Lassa virus. The Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved free internet services at 20 selected airports, 6 markets, and 43 universities across the country. A relative cost of 24.2 billion naira. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Patami, disclosed this after the FEC meeting chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday. He affirmed that states like Lagos and Ondo in the southwest, Imo, Anambra, Enugu in the southeast, Rivers and Akwa Ibom for the south-south, Abuja and Kwara for the north-central, Kano, Sokoto and Kebbi for the northwest, Adamawa, Maiduguri and Gombe for northeast will enjoy the free broadband for passengers coming into these airports, particularly to ease the communication challenge and make online transactions. The FEC had earlier approved a similar memo for the provision of unlimited internet in 18 universities in the first phase of a project. Cumulatively, the 24.20 billion naira project is to be implemented by the Nigerian Communications Commission for 5 months. You are still watching Rapid TV News. Still to come, Mexico investigates deadly fire at migrant center. FIFA removes Indonesia as host of 2023 Under-20 World Cup. Stand by. Welcome back. Moving on to the foreign scene, the United States Vice President Kamala Harris has visited Tanzania on the second leg of her first tour to Africa. She will meet President Samia Suluhu, where she's expected to raise the issue of Tanzania's non-alignment over the war in Ukraine. Report says U.S. has been keen to get more countries to condemn the Russian invasion. Meanwhile, the U.S. Vice President's tour comes at a time of growing competition for influence in Africa by global powers such as China and Russia. Senior officials have dropped unsubtle hints that Western nations aiming Ukraine should not push Russia too far. A few days ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced plans to station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. And from Mexico, Monday's blaze in Mexico is now being investigated as a possible homicide. 5 of the suspects are reported to be security guards at the facility in Ciudad Juarez, a city on the U.S. border. The footage has been widely shared on Twitter and published by a number of Mexican newspapers, with many people expressing shock at what they say was a failure by the guards to act. Asked about the footage, Mr. Lopez Obrador, who has a very fractious relationship with the media, accused journalists of being more interested in sensationalism than the pain of the trapped migrants. Mexican officials say a total of 68 men were in this facility at the time of the blaze. The majority were from Guatemala, with others from Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, and Venezuela. Authorities have released their names, but they have not yet clarified which of them are dead and which have survived. And in sport, FIFA announced on Wednesday it had removed Indonesia as host of this year's Under-20 World Cup amid political turmoil over Israel's participation. Friday's draw for May 20, June 11 competition was scrapped by FIFA following protest over Israel's involvement in the 2014 event. In a statement, FIFA said Indonesia will no longer host the tournament due to the current circumstances without specifying details. Indonesia and Israel do not have formal diplomatic relations, and support from the Palestinian cause in the world's most populous Muslim majority nation runs high, fueling local opposition to hosting the Israeli team. Indonesian officials say Bali's governor calling for Israel to be thrown out of the cup because of its policies towards the Palestinians was likely behind the draw's cancellation. Around 100 conservative Muslim demonstrators also marched in the capital Jakarta this month to protest Israel's involvement. As we wrap up the news at this time, here is a recap of our major stories. Nigerian government requests Ireland support and internal security. Zimbabwe Air Chief visit NAV headquarters. FEC okays 24.2 billion for free internet at airports and varsity. Mexico investigate deadly fire at migrant center. And in sport, FIFA removes Indonesia as host of 2023 Under-20 World Cup. Thank you so much for staying with us for news at this time. My name is Cynthia. Well, do have yourself a wonderful evening. And do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. And of course, keep watching our programs.